Haunt. So I read the issues 1 through 6, and the whole story was really good overall. 10 out of 10. This particular issue, Daniel, who was actually the host of his brother Kurt, who has haunted him, and they have created this suit. And Daniel is this, like NFG priest. And his brother is supposed to be this, covert black ops spy, espionage kind of dude, and he ends up getting killed, and then haunts his brother, and they become this. Kurt's ghost saves him, and this is what happens. So this whole story with Kirkman, I don't know. See, I've read some of his stuff. I think he's doing the Image United. I definitely enjoyed that. But his sort of writing is interesting. And I think in this issue there's a little bit of a hiccup, or a point in the story that kind of pulled me out, but then I got back in. And it was the point where he actually, right after he died, and where the first time he's talking to his brother as a ghost. And so it's all really great up until that point, and then they show where just before he gets killed, and he's just beaten, and his face looks like a smashed butthole, and then they jump to his funeral, and his brother already talking to him in a car. And at that point it wasn't so shocking. I think it should have been shocking that, oh my goodness, there's this ghost there, in front of Kurt, and it didn't seem like that. It didn't seem so disconnected. And I think maybe I'm starting to get Kirkman's writing, and that maybe that's what he wanted you to feel like, because that's what the character is feeling like. He's so disconnected and not really into his faith in a man of the cloth. And so then right at the end there was the shocker, and he finally realizes, wow, maybe I'm not crazy. Kurt, is this really you? And kind of finds out that he's in this odd reality. He's kind of shocked back into the living or whatever. And if Kirkman didn't write it so that Daniel was shocked at the end and actually like, wow, what have I found myself in? Like, this is really you, Kurt? Then I probably wouldn't have liked the series as much. And so I hope that's what Kirkman's trying to write from, like exactly how his characters are feeling, and tries to make you feel exactly the same. So for this issue, I kind of give this one like a 4 out of 5. The rest of the issues a 5 out of 5, definitely, only because of that hiccup. But it pulled me in. I like the series, the idea of the brother haunting him and them creating this suit, and the characters, the relationships between them all. Very, very interesting how Kurt, messed with his life and stole his woman, and he cheated, and he had this other woman, and then just each guy, when you're reading about them, you kind of think, oh, well, this is the good guy, or this is the bad guy, or, well, he's not so good now anymore. You can't really relate to either one, but you kind of get this roller coaster of emotions while you're reading them. And there's a lot of hints as what's to come, hints as to what his origins are, and there's a connection, I guess, with this symbol between his last mission and the haunt. There's this Dr. Schillinger who was working on regeneration stuff, reanimating dead cells, stuff like that, and he was supposed to extract him, and he had this plan with his woman to sell Schillinger's notes and them to run away and all that kind of stuff. So obviously there's a connection, I think, between Schillinger's work and what has happened to Kurt and Daniel here. So really good. I really like The Haunt, and I actually got some This one is a second printing of this one I got. I'm going to be getting a first print of the foil gram cover because I liked it so much. Got it for a good price on eBay, so that'll be coming in the mail, and then I have issue number 7 on order. So really good series there. Now if you guys have seen over here, probably a big buzz on the internet, I'm sure if you're reading this story, is issue number 22 of Hulk. So this one is supposed to be the identity of the Red Hulk revealed at the end, which it is, and also the Red She-Hulk. Now I thought it was very interesting, and I guess in issue number 23 we're supposed to have the origin of the Red Hulk, how he became to be. But if you guys don't know, spoiler here, if you don't want to know, turn off the video. But the Red Hulk here is General Thaddeus, Thunderbolt Ross. And so I thought it was really cool, just about 2 years of reading this book, I loved it all the way through. Jeff Loeb, it's been some interesting reading, how some of the stories he kind of goes forwards and backwards, and it's kind of this, and all these secrets and ways of writing that is very, I don't know, I guess there's probably a ton of secrets. It's either genius or really retarded writing, one or the other. Hopefully it's genius. But this particular issue, continuing with him fighting off these hulked out heroes, and then finally goes to meets the Red She-Hulk, and she siphons off his energy, and then shows that it's the General, and Bruce is trying to get out of the machine that the intelligentsia has him in. So he was doing that. The one point in this comic book that I wanted to see was the meeting of these two guys, and he does meet the hulked out Spider-Man and Wolverine, but takes care of them really fast. And since the hulked out Wolverine came out, I wanted to just I want to see this hulked out Wolverine just kick some butt, really, really good fights. And it didn't turn out that way. He just took care of the Spider-Man and Hulk right away, and he mashed them together and gave them a fastball special. And so I was like, oh, darn it, but I'm really expecting eventually them to really show some really cool stuff with the Hulk, with the Wolverine. Now, the identity of the General being the Red Hulk, right at the end, if you guys have noticed, I don't want to show you guys anything because I think you guys should be reading this book, so if you're not, you gotta be reading it. Is that the General still has his mustache. And so, I mean, here he is, he's hulked out, I mean, he looks this way, no mustache or nothing, but then he turns into the man and he's got his mustache back. I think that was the only goofy part at the end. The only way that I can justify that is by, as you see these hulked out heroes, and same with the Red Hulk, they were bombarded with gamma and cosmic radiation. So obviously the cosmic radiation has makes them their outer Hulk appearance change, to the way they're kind of feeling, or their inner Hulk is released outwards or whatever. So the physical manifestation of that is slightly varied between each person. So that's the only way I can justify Red Hulk not having his mustache, which I still think is a little corny. He shouldn't have his mustache. Now, there's also been things where, well, how can it be the General? Because supposedly the Red Hulk killed the General in previous issues. And somebody else, I was reading some threads, pointed out that I think it was actually in issue number 6 where Samson and the General were standing over the Red Hulk, saying, you didn't fulfill yourself, you didn't do your job, we're leaving you on your own, kind of thing. So what was that, right? Was that actually the General, or did Loeb forget he wrote that, or was that a life model decoy? All that kind of stuff. So I think throughout all this series there might be little spots where you think, well, it can't be the General. And hopefully they're going to explain all of that, and of course the mustache. I hope they explain all of that. But overall, really good.